Most pivot tables summarize numerical data. The problem is that when you create a pivot table in Excel 2013, as you can see here, Excel doesn't apply any number formatting to the contents of the value field. In this movie, I will show you an efficient way to apply number formatting to the body of your pivot table. I will use the number formatting sample file, which you can find in the Chapter 4 folder of your exercise files archive. Unformatted numbers are hard to read, and you can see that this first value, 98,677, isn't that difficult to read because it's a different length than the surrounding numbers. But when you're trying to read 138,920 and 137,099, unless you're intimately familiar with the data, seeing all those numbers of the same length and with the same starting number together can make it confusing. It would be much easier to read those numbers with some formatting applied. Here's how you do it. Right-click any data cell from the body of the pivot table. So in other words, not a summary and certainly not one of the labels. You want one of the data cells from within the body of the pivot table. So go ahead and right-click that cell, and then from the shortcut menu that appears, click Number Format. Doing so displays the Number tab of the Format Cells dialog box. And you can use these controls, which are probably familiar to you if you've used Excel for any length of time, to change the formatting of the values inside of the values field in your pivot table. So let's say that I want to apply currency formatting. So I'll click Currency. Doing so displays a sample of what the data will look like. In this case, I know all the values are whole dollar values. I don't have any cents. So I'll click the down arrow on the decimal places spin control twice to move the value from 2 decimal places to 0. And you can see the sample has changed so that now there are no values to the right of a decimal point. The negative number settings look good, and I am dealing with US dollars, so I'll leave the currency symbol as the dollar sign. But if I were working euros, pounds, yen, any other currency, then I could click the down arrow and I have a wide range of currencies to choose from. But now everything looks good, so I'll click OK. And when I click OK, Excel applies that style to the body of the pivot table. And that's all there is to it. My pivot table is much easier to read. I know that the values are currency values, and I save space by not having any values to the right of the decimal point. The values were all in whole dollars, so I was able to adjust my format appropriately.